Tonight is the 25th time that Hollywood Health and Society is honoring you, the makers of television that make a difference. And it's also the first time this award bears the name of a Hollywood legend, Mr. Norman Lear.
I want to thank all of you here for all you do to keep Norman's values alive, to keep the stream of humanity flowing in the direction of higher values on this planet. It is those of truth, beauty, and goodness.
Everybody here wants to make TV that matters, you know? And so it's like family. It's great.
Most folks wouldn't pass judgment on a friend with diabetes or high blood pressure, and the same concept applies to someone with a substance use disorder. They too are battling a disease which also needs to be treated. Addiction is a disease and not a moral failing, and those who suffer deserve compassion.
I hope I and everybody in this room continue to have the opportunity to put these types of stories on screen because I really believe that they make a difference. Thank you again for this honor.
This doomsday tale looks deeply at how we each might emotionally handle a disaster and how some bravely stand up to the power hungry. Paradise is a wake-up call in the guise of a brilliant political crime thriller.
You can entertain people, and at the same time you can uplift them and inform them. So we want to make sure that anybody who's writing anything gets the kind of information and access to that information that they need.
It's extremely gratifying to be recognized by this particular organization because this organization's been instrumental in the success of the Pitt.
The Pitt expresses a vision for healthcare as a value and a human right that should be accessible and affordable. And despite the challenges of understaffing and lack of resources, it rises up to reflect our better angels.
It's a true honor to win one of these, especially now that you've changed the name of it. It's like Sentinel Award, oh, Norman Lear Award, ooh, it's pretty cool.
It's a show that I'm sure Norman would be very proud of. It's right up his alley. I think what he did that was so remarkable was entertain people, make them laugh, but also help them see their own foibles and help us be a little more tolerant of each other.
The truth is in the details. And the most gratifying and humbling part of this whole experience has been getting messages from people in the stage 4 breast cancer community thanking us for depicting those details and making them feel seen.
Well, if I've learned one thing tonight, it's I gotta get a checkup. Yeah, I'm gonna do that tomorrow. First thing.
In the past 40 years, the industry has collectively greenlit maybe 4.5 stories on climate. And that silence has played a direct role in shaping the disregard we see in the popular imagination. Thank you to the Norman Lear Awards for recognizing work that engages with the reality of our fight for the future.
It's a complete honor. We're so thrilled. Also to have Norman Lear's name attached. He's someone that I think we both admired forever.
In our writer's room, we often ask ourselves, how do we make medical research sexy? How do we break down these wonky concepts about funding, equity, and public policy? And I believe we do so by showing this relentless, persistent fight. The fight Meredith Grey has in this episode when she rejects the status quo and refuses to accept a public health system that excludes women.
The cost of healthcare for the average American is a problem. And the fact that, there's a game that's constantly being played, but it's with people's lives and with people's health. And that for me has always been a problem. And I feel like nobody should be dying because they're broke. And so that to me is the kind of stuff our show does that I love.
This is a difficult time to tell stories like this that focus on marginalized groups and the real struggles that they face in healthcare and in America. But that means it's even more important that we don't stop telling them.
So thank you to Hollywood Health and Society, Norman Lear Center for hosting this celebration, but more importantly for doing the amazing day-to-day work you do in bringing truth to these narratives, and for gathering this inspiring room of people together who also aren't backing down from the fight.
The Apple TV series Shrinking explores the world of vital caregivers many of us depend on every week to help untangle our emotional knots. Therapists. as many of us have learned, we're all going to end up being caregivers or needing caregivers.
When we need to dig deeply into a topic, there are experts in the world that know far more than we. And when we dig deeper, we get details and we get wonderful pearls that bring the magic.
Norman Lear was a gentleman of such great integrity, and he was also able to provide wonderful entertainment while also addressing social issues. He really was a maverick.
But I really do hope that people look at not only this show, but all these other shows he's done through history and the amount of progress that he actually made and the impact he made. I hope people see that and see that that's something they can do and that's something they can continue.